Hey everyone! Everything is fun in the golden yellow sun. Yes, indeed, and welcome back to this week's session of Wednesday Wisdom. God, I love these sessions so much, and you know what I love even more? The topic for this week. It is, why do haters hate? And how, if I am the one feeling, hatred, or if I'm the one feeling jealous and envious, how can I change those emotions? How can I flip my mindset so that I don't become a hater that hates? Well, let me start off with a story of a fox and a bunch of grapes. Once upon a time, there was a fox who was walking through the forest. He was extremely hungry and thirsty, and he said out loud, "Oh, I wish there was something I could eat which would quench my thirst and also fill my stomach." That's when he saw these bunch of grapes, and he said, "Oh, good God, this must be my lucky day." He runs up to the grapes, but finds that they're swinging a bit too high. So he jumps once, jumps twice, jumps thrice, but he still is not able to reach the grapes. So he quits, and instead he says, "Oh, well, I'm glad I couldn't reach those grapes because they're probably sour anyways." Now, why am I telling you this story? Because in this case, the fox would be the hater. Why is he hating though? Why is he calling those grapes sour? Wasn't he the one who wanted them in the first place? Well, that's exactly why he's calling them sour. It's because he couldn't get it, so he's just saying nasty things instead to make himself feel better, to boost his self-esteem and his ego. But deep down, he knows it's not true. And that is exactly why haters hate. Because when they can't get something, or when they see someone else with what they wanted in the first place, well, that's when they start saying nasty things. Now, in Monday's video, we saw how that was significance. That was attention, right? But it could be so many more things. Attention, however, is the baseline. It is the bottom line. Because when we see someone else who is getting the attention that we think we deserve, whether there's someone we know, whether there's someone famous, whether there's someone totally random, we will start feeling jealous and envious, and we will start hating towards that person. But the question is, how can we change this around, Because nobody wants to be a hater. I mean, there is so much negativity in this world already. You wouldn't want to turn into a hater, would you? Because everyone has been hated on before, and I'm sure you know how it feels, and it is not nice. So how can we change our mindset instead? Well, I'll tell you something that actually happened with me, and it's very hard for me to say this, but I want to be brutally honest in these sessions. I want to really be able to help you guys, and sometimes I just need to hear my own advice as well. So here goes nothing, right? There was a phase in my life when I felt so jealous and envious, and I started hating, and whether that was unintentionally or even intentionally sometimes, and I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. It was, So the reason was I started following these people online. They were kids, some younger than me, some my age, some a bit older than me, but they were in my profession, they were in my industry, and I followed them because I was like, okay, let me learn some tips and techniques. What are they doing? What is their formula for success? But the reason for following them did not go as planned. Instead of learning from them, I started to, be jealous. Their achievements would pop up on my For You page, and I would start clicking into the stories like, oh, this promotion, this advertisement, I'm hashtag gifted, and so I was like, how do they have this and I don't, what do they have that I don't? Why are they getting this attention and I'm not? And I started to see these negative things, and my mind was filled with all these negative emotions. But one day, I just sat down and I was like, dude, since when have I become like this? Because my parents never taught me to be like this. These are not the morals they embedded in me. This is not how I grew up to be. So what is happening? I was really concerned, so I spoke to my parents. I was like, listen guys, this is how I'm feeling. Is this normal? What's happening and how can I change it? And they said, it's normal. You can't ever get rid of these emotions because they're perfectly normal human emotions. But what you can do is you can replace them with more positive emotions. Like you can turn your jealousy into support. You can change your hatred into love. And I was like, hold on, how do you do that? And they said, well, say the exact opposite. Align your negative emotions with something more positive and say it out loud, or say it in a way, or do something in which you truly believe it. Maybe you could write it down, maybe you could say it out loud, whatever works for you. But when you do that, whenever you say it or you write it, make sure it is with full feeling, because you must believe it. And that is the only way you're ever going to be able to get rid of these negative emotions. So that's what I started doing. Anytime I would feel jealous, I would just, like, let's say I'm scrolling on Instagram and their achievements pop on my For You page. I'm like, instead of saying, oh, why do they have this and I don't, I just look at it, I'm like, hey, I'm so proud for them. They worked so hard for this, I am sure, and that is exactly why they deserve this. So I shouldn't be jealous, I should support them. And sometimes I would DM them, and I wouldn't care whether they'd reply or not, because as soon as I would hit send on that beautiful message, I'd feel so light. And that whole burden of jealousy and envy and hate, I throw it off, right off. And if that were ever to my friends, let's say they won something that I really wanted to win, rather than saying, oh, she probably cheated, or she's not good enough, or oh, the judges are probably biased or something. Rather than saying those things and making up excuses and blaming somebody else, rather than calling those grapes sour, I just go up to my friend, I'd give them a big hug, and I'd be like, listen, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You worked so hard, and you deserve this, and you deserve so much better. May God always bless you. And I don't know how they'd feel. Maybe they'd be thinking like, chill, girl, I haven't won the Olympics or anything, like, slow down. But what they felt at that moment didn't really matter, because I felt so free and happy. And whatever I said was positive. And I meant it, and it was genuine, and I felt so happy, and I'm sure that they felt loved too, because when you win something, or when you achieve something, you want to be supported, you want to feel loved, right? Rather than hated at. And there will always be haters, so don't be one of those haters. If you're the fox and you cannot reach those grapes, don't call them sour, or don't say nasty things to the people who can reach those grapes. You have two choices. Either you don't give up until you get those grapes, or you move on and you say, listen, maybe these grapes aren't for me. Maybe they're for somebody else to enjoy, and that's perfectly okay. I hope that they enjoy this meal, whoever gets these grapes. And I know for sure, for a fact, that if I just keep walking, then pretty soon in this forest, I'll find some amazing fruits for me as well that will quench my thirst and fill my stomach. So change the story. Don't be the fox with the sour grapes. Be the fox with the beautiful heart. No jealousy, no envy, no hate. Or even if it's there, be the person who knows how to change it. Because in this world, you've got so much negativity already. Don't be one of the haters. I'm sure you know what it feels like to be hated at. I've been there too. Everyone knows how it feels like to be hated at. And everyone also knows how it feels like to hate. Nobody wants to carry that burden of jealousy and envy. Nobody wants to blame. And you don't want to be blamed either. You don't want to be hated at either. So do your part. Be nice, be kind, love and support. And also, another way you can ensure that you spread this love and support is by liking this video, by sharing it to those who you think could really use these techniques, and also save it for the times where you feel like your jealousy, your envy, and your emotions are out of control. If you ever need something, or if you ever need a trick or anything to listen to, may it be this video to help you. And coming back to what I said at the start, I want to thank you guys so much, because of our recent achievement. We just got 1.2K, guys. That is such a big deal. And also because these sessions, I feel like they're so deep. It's a time for me, like, I just want you guys to know I feel so open, and it's hard for me sometimes to kind of be so vulnerable and share all of this, but I feel so light when I do. And I feel like all of you out there, you're so kind and so supportive, and I feel like you guys are there for me. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for being a part of this family. You really don't know how much it means to me. Thank you for being my support, for loving me, and for being on this journey with me. And send this video, share any video that you think could really help someone else. Maybe if it's not this Wednesday wisdom session, Maybe it's the previous one. Maybe it could be a session that you really connected with. I would love to see how it's helping you, how it's helping your friends, your family, and your loved ones. So please do let me know in the comments, and if you ever have a topic that you need advice on or you need help with, I am there for you. Thank you so much, guys, for being such an amazing family. I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Toodles!